On behalf of the faculty and staff of Eastern Mennonite University, I welcome all of you to this celebration. To the class of 2015, this is your day. Congratulations for all of the hard work that you completed to reach this very significant milestone. On behalf of all of us as faculty and staff, we extend a special welcome to family and friends of this class. We welcome you to join this celebration of the educational achievements of these graduates of EMU. Our graduates know full well that your support has been an integral part of their success, culminating in this celebration of their accomplishments. In this commencement exercise, we send you forth as 2015 graduates to new communities and to new opportunities, and we pray that you will continue to experience Christ and follow His call to witness faithfully, to serve compassionately, and to walk boldly in the way of nonviolence and peace. We know this mission is frequently not popular and that we have not provided you with perfect answers for the journey. But we pray that in our time together we've also learned some things that will make all of us a better university, and you a better follower of the God who created us all and who seeks to be in communion with God's creation. Kevin Longenecker of Harrisonburg, Virginia, is a member of the executive committee of our Board of Trustees, will lead us in our opening prayer of invocation. Following the invocation, students Jacinda Stolley and Jesse Rice will perform a duo for violin and cello by Hofmeister. Please stand for the invocation as you are able.
Join together with me now as we pray. Creator God, we are thankful for this day. We pause at the beginning of this celebration to request your presence among us. We ask for your blessing as we honor these graduates and recognize their accomplishments. May this day be marked by thoughtful reflection on what has gone before and eager anticipation of the road ahead. We express gratitude for these students and the rich supporting cast with which you have surrounded them, for the parents and family members who have nurtured and supported these students along the way, for the many friends in the classroom and at a distance who have counseled, challenged, learned, grown, and adventured with them. May they carry these lifelong friendships with them as they leave this place. We are grateful for the many faculty, staff, and administrators who have worked diligently to create a rigorous learning environment that fostered their growth, and for how these mentors have inspired and modeled reflective practice. We acknowledge that the path has not always been easy. These graduates have been tested. There have been doubts, disappointments, distractions, and injuries on the playing field and in personal relationships. Let the scars not be reminders of pain, but as witness to perseverance and to healing and to new understanding of your grace and your mercy. At times, we have also found ourselves divided and at opposite ends of the spectrum on issues that threaten to tear apart our campus, our communities, our churches, and our world. Equip these graduates with the tools necessary to bring reconciliation, understanding, peace, and a way forward for all of us. God of wisdom and righteousness, as we venture on with these graduates in our ongoing pursuit of knowledge and truth, let us not forget to seek your face. In defining our purpose, let us be mindful of your mission to bring healing and hope to the world. And in the noise and chaos that surround us, let us not forget to quietly listen to hear your voice and discern your plan for our life. To seek your will, that we may boldly serve where you call us. In Jesus Christ, your Son's name, we pray. Amen.
The graduates' perspectives will be given by undergraduate students Emily Shank and Jordan Luther. Kimberly Groff will speak on behalf of the Adult Degree Completion Program, representing the RN to BSN program at EMU in Lancaster. Najala El Mangoush will speak on behalf of the graduate programs, representing the Conflict Transformation Program.
This should have been decided ahead of time who was going first, but that's okay. Hello. My name is Emily Shank, and for some of you more well known as Friday Announcements Girl. And I have to say this is the largest chapel turnout thus far of my career. I would like to welcome you again to EMU Commencement, and I'd like to extend a greeting to those who are watching via the live stream and also those that will watch the taped version 2 months from now. So, it is such an honor to be up here in front of my peers and also with EJ. We're on a first name basis now. And also my BFF, Lauren. And in case you can't see, he's crossing his fingers hoping that I was just joking about us doing our well-rehearsed song and dance routine about friendship. But that's coming up. So, how do you write a graduation speech? Well, Webster's dictionary defines graduation. No. I was thinking about this on Easter because church has a way of reminding you that it's Sunday and that the next day is Monday, which means you have a lot of homework to do and that you're graduating in 3 weeks. So, writing a speech. I was thinking about pastors, and pastors write a lot of speeches, or sermons if you prefer that terminology. And when you think about it, the religious year is pretty predictable. In the words of one comedian, it's a large hide-and-seek game with Jesus. Christmas, there he is. Good Friday, where'd he go? Easter, there he is. Ascension, where'd he go? Christmas, there he is. The point being that pastors have to find ways to make the same events exciting year after year. Granted, they have God on their side to help with the inspiration. Graduation speeches, you're kind of on your own with that. So what to talk about? Something profound and thought-provoking? No, Kevin already took care of that one last night. Thanks, Kevin, wherever you are. It was good work. So do I actually attempt to say anything or just ramble on for the next minute? And I'll give you a guess as to where that's going. But I will say this as my one reflection on graduation day. I was student teaching this past semester and heard my 5th graders talk a lot about their anticipated graduation to 6th grade. I also heard my 2nd graders talk a lot about 3rd grade is coming up and it's going to be so big and scary. I've seen lots of high schoolers posting on Facebook announcing their graduation open houses and college choices. And on a good day, I'm happy for them. Most days, not impressed. Like, oh, you think that's a big deal? That's cute. And I think maybe that's how some people here today feel. Sure, it's great that my child made it through college. It's also great that I don't have to write out any more tuition payments. And I acknowledge all the hard work you've put in the past 4 years, but also there's a lot more where that came from. And maybe some of you are more loving people than I am. Now, you may be thinking, Emily, your cynicism isn't realism. Let joy surprise you. Yeah. And so I'm going to let him take care of that part, probably. I saw that title and said, well, that goes out the window. But on the bright side, I wanted to say, I think if I leave you with a message, it's don't take yourself too seriously. We can acknowledge where we are and acknowledge how much we have to go. And finally, I wanted to end, as we go forth, I would like to leave you with some of the top graduation cliches, because cliches are cliche for a reason, and I figured it would get us hyped up for Jordan over here. So remember, it's not the end, it's the beginning. You are the future. The future is in your hands. I can't believe it. You are the best and the brightest. You've got an education, now get the experience. This is the time of our lives. Live your dreams. Believe in yourself. You did it. And finally, never forget where you came from, because as we all know, say it with me, EMU is hashtag like no other. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Well, what more is there to say? Greetings, graduates, faculty and staff, President Schwarzendruber, and all who are gathered to celebrate the 97th annual commencement of Eastern Mennonite University. I say to you, welcome. I want to extend a special welcome to my friend and fellow graduate, Derek Turner, whose birthday is today. I apologize to the rest of you who might share a birthday with Derek, but let's be clear here. He drove a hard bargain to have his specifically mentioned. I distinctly remember Derek saying, if you give me a birthday shout out, then I'll start a slow round of applause. Thanks for keeping your end of the deal, Derek. When I reflect upon my experience at EMU, I cannot help but to think that EMU is a place where identities are reimagined. We all came into college with a general understanding of who we are based upon our prior life experiences. Some of us came straight from high school into college, while others of us spent time working or serving first. Some of us grew up 5 minutes down the road, while others of us grew up 5,000 miles away. Some of us are especially familiar with Mennonites, while others of us had never heard of Mennonites prior to EMU. All of these points of difference may seem contentious at face value, yet it is precisely these points of difference that create opportunities for personal growth. It is our particular individual identities that serve as our greatest asset in shaping our collective experience as students. The identity of EMU is no exception either. As an Anabaptist Mennonite institution of higher education, EMU remains committed to maintaining the Anabaptist values of Christian community, discipleship, and nonviolence, while also inviting other religious and scholarly perspectives to shape this vision both critically and creatively. This period of identity growth is parallel to the sensation I felt when I first realized in late elementary school that crayon boxes came in a higher count than 24. I thought I knew what purple was, but then I discovered lavender. I thought orange would suffice to color the sunset, but then I became attached to goldenrod and tangerine. As I continued expanding my crayon box, I discovered not only difference, but an appreciation for subtlety and nuance. Class of 2015, our identities are like a 64 box of crayons, rich with color, diversity, and excitement. I thank you for sharing your crayons and using them to create pictures of campus camaraderie during our time at EMU. As we depart from EMU, I invite you to continue using your crayons to create portraits of peace and transformation in your local community and in our world.
Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. I'm honored to be among all of you today. Special thanks to the EMU as a whole and for the CGP, the Center of Justice and Peace Building, friends and faculty and staff for the trust you place in me to represent the Center of Justice and Peace Building. And thank you because you give me motivation to lose some weight to fit in my new suit before this speech. Congratulations for all the class 2015, family, friends, and teachers who've been part and support you in this during your journey. And my experience with the Center of Justice and Peace Building, it's more individual, and that encouraged me actually to look to myself more authentically and understanding my needs and how my identity is never separate from who I am and what I want. This time has been one of discovery, experiential learning with the new colleagues. I left my family in Libya with a big fear that I will be alone for a long time, but I was surprised by the amount of love and care that I was found with real friends that become real family. This time of years brings another level of stress as you find your way after graduation. For that reason, I have asked myself what I have wished knowing at my own graduation. By the way, this is my third graduation. First two in Libya, and here in the US, finally I got it. Even I still 23 years old. Please don't secret. On this wonderful day, we are gathering together to celebrate your academic success, your achievement. However, I have decided to talk to you about three things, as I have 3 minutes. First, accept failure as a gift. And second, don't be afraid to take a risky decision. And third, practice gratitude. Failure is just life trying. It's a gift, as I understood in my faith, because without failure, you will not find your own direction. Allah, God said, while failure will be hateful to you, but perhaps you hate things that is good for you, and perhaps you love things that is bad for you, and Allah knows while you know not. Sometimes life will hit you. Don't lose faith. Keep looking, don't settle, never let your fear decide your destiny. I worked several years after I graduated from law school as a lawyer, and I was almost close to success. But for personal reason, I couldn't continue my vocation. I was disappointed that I wasn't able to continue my dream life career. So I decided to do my master's degree in criminal law, and I become teacher in criminal law. But also, for the same personal reason, I wasn't able to continue. After all, I felt that the real taste of failure. I was without sustainable job as a divorced woman, single mother, and in the known future. Then the Libyan revolution sparked in my country, and I was a transformative moment in my journey. Today, when I reflect back in my life, I can see that I had succeeded in these area endeavors. I never would have worked in my own healing and opened up to my own gift as a proud mother, activist, and peace builder. Fate or destiny had another plan for me, and this is my message to you today. As you start your journey, as you think about future, there is always a room for another plan. Receive the failure as a gift. I have changed. I can see how different I am. My past is not my future. I learned that I am able to move forward. I embrace who I am. The guilt, the anger, and the wishes and the desire that shadow my past inform my identity and aligned my future. My second message, don't be afraid to take risky decisions. Live life with integrity. Listen to your heart and discover the unknown. I took many risky decisions in my life. Those crazy decisions were the one who made me, the one that I never regret. Risky decisions taught me something about fear and courage. It is easier to stay in a comfort zone, but the familiar too often traps us from personal growth. I spent more than 8 years fear because I was thinking about the others more than myself. Last message, develop attitude of gratitude as you transition to a new level of your lifetime, because it's one of the simplest way to live your life with satisfaction. Today, I encourage you to take a moment to think about all the people who have been part of your journey, who supported you, family, teachers, friends, and community, who believed in you when it was hard to find a believer, who listened to you with respect, who taught you, even those with hard lessons. Success is not destination. Success is how we choose to live our life with integrity. Today, as I express my gratitude through one of the famous sayings to the Prophet Muhammad, who does not thank people, does not thank Allah. Big appreciation to everyone who has been part of my journey, who pushed me to be a better person, and who loved me for who I am. Thank you.
Welcome, President Schwarzenegger, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. This is a day that all of us have anticipated for many months. Many of you came directly from high school, while others of us have taken another journey before going back to school for a degree. As John F. Kennedy once said, change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. Making the decision to return to school after 20+ years of working and raising a family was a challenge, but the greatest choice I could have made. Lancaster's site was a perfect fit and challenged us in many ways to learn and grow for the future. There were many of us who had graduated years before, when typewriters were used to write our papers, and there was no such thing as a PowerPoint presentation. I would like to publicly thank my daughter Kendra, who as a high school student helped me learn how to navigate a computer and make a PowerPoint presentation. You helped many of us when we could not figure out how to get a Mac and a Dell computer to work together to design a project. Challenges will always come our way. It is how we choose to accept the challenge that helps to define who we are. Never give up and say it is too late in life to return to school. Some of the greatest rewards in life are when we accept a challenge and achieve the goal we set out to accomplish. We must listen to others and allow them to speak into our life, and then determine what it is we want to achieve. Mario Andretti once said, "Desire is the key to motivation, but it's determination and commitment to an unrelenting pursuit of your goal, a commitment to excellence that will enable you to attain the success you seek. Limiting ourselves to what we are comfortable with will allow us to become complacent and stagnant in what we do. In the end, when that goal is achieved, you will see a change within yourself and realize that with perseverance, you can accomplish what you set out to achieve. Challenges and change will help you grow, and with that growth comes a level of confidence in who you are as a person and challenge those around you. Never fear failure, because with every mistake, you are growing and learning. Life is about change and growth, and not accepting that change can allow you to become unhappy with yourself, and you begin to limit yourself in what you can do. Keep yourself open to what opportunities come your way, and always remember that with change and perseverance, you are shaping who you are as a person and defining what it is God wants you to achieve for your life. I would like to leave you with a portion of scripture that has encouraged me many times when I felt overwhelmed. Isaiah 40:28-31 says, "Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Thank you.
Thanks to each of you for those student perspectives. It's my honor to introduce our speaker today, Dr. E.J. Dion, Jr. You can read a more complete introduction of Dr. Dion in the program booklet Dr. Dion is the W. Averill Harriman Chair and Senior Fellow at the Brookings Institution, a syndicated columnist for the Washington Post, and university professor in the Foundations of Democracy and Culture at Georgetown University. E.J. began his career with the New York Times, where he spent 14 years reporting on state and local government, national politics, and from around the world, including stints in Paris, Rome, and Beirut. The Los Angeles Times praised his coverage of the Vatican as the best in 2 decades. Dion joined the Washington Post in 1990 as a reporter covering national politics and began writing his column in 1993. His best-selling book, Why Americans Hate Politics, was published in 1991 by Simon & Schuster. The book, which Newsday called, quote, a classic in American political history, won the Los Angeles Times Book Prize and was a National Book Award nominee. Dion grew up in Falls River, Massachusetts. He graduated summa cum laude with a BA from Harvard University in 1973 and received his doctorate in sociology from Oxford University, where he was a Rhodes Scholar. He lives in Bethesda, Maryland, with his wife, Mary Boyle, and their 3 children, James, Julia, and Margot. Please join me in welcoming Dr. E.J. Dion as he brings the commencement address entitled, Cynicism Isn't Realism, Letting Joy Surprise You.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. That is so much nicer than an introduction I once got, which ended, and now for the latest dope from Washington, here's E.J. Dion. So bless you. And I think here at EMU, I should begin this talk with the words, blessed are the peacemakers. And on walking up to this stage, I was talking to your president, and I said, you know, if you had a football team, that would be a great name, the Peacemakers. And proving that he is a true realist, he said in the nicest possible way, but with just a hint of sarcasm, he said, that would really intimidate the other side. So bless you all. Before I say anything else, Mr. President, distinguished faculty, staff, parents, friends, members of the very distinguished class of 2015, it's your hard work, your discipline, your imagination, your curiosity is what we celebrate here above all else today. So can we just start this off by rising to pay tribute to the class of 2015, all of them. And now everybody who just rose is obligated to write a letter of recommendation for any job you guys seek in the future. So all of you remember that. I cannot tell you what a joy it is to be here at Eastern Mennonite to share this day with you. It's an honor in part because there aren't many universities that can sum up its values as concisely as Eastern Mennonite does, drawing from the prophet Micah, to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. That sounds really simple, but how complicated is it and how challenging is it? Doing justice is not easy. Loving mercy sometimes can be impossible. I am a Red Sox fan and rarely feel mercy toward the New York Yankees, I confess. And walking humbly with God, well, what does some Washington pundit who has the nerve to get up here and share a few thoughts with you on this, one of the most important days of your life, know about humility? So I ask you, yes, please have mercy on me. And I also ask you, never, ever forget that mission statement. It's particularly generous of you to invite someone who has spent so long as a journalist, so much of his life as a journalist, to a ceremony of this sort. Ours is not the most popular profession these days. My wife is a lawyer, and I always thank her for her profession because lawyers at least sometimes keep us journalists out of last place in those polls in which people are asked about the most respected professions. You should know that readers keep us humble. We get a lot of emails and comments putting us in our place. And I once got one that I can actually repeat in this polite company. Most of them I can't. It began, "Dear Mr. Dion, are you as dumb in person?" And I like beginning talks that way because if nothing else, if you get nothing else out of this, you'll be able to answer that question for yourself. And the very definition of life being unfair is to speak after Emily. Yes, she and I are on a first-name basis. And also Jordan and Kimberly and Angela, thank you for those great talks. And before I say anything else, I want to say a word to the parents here. In about a month's time, my wife and I will have the joy, you'll be hearing that word a lot today, as Emily pointed out, of seeing the first of our 3 kids graduate from college. It's an extraordinary feeling that does fill you with wonder, but it's also a daunting feeling. This is a time of transition for parents, no less than for many of these graduates. I speak especially of the undergrads here. So I ask all you students, please have mercy on your parents too. I have to say I still get nostalgic when I drive by baseball fields or soccer fields because it reminds me of so many wonderful days when our kids were younger and when things were relatively simple. And I still miss those days, and yet it is an incomparable blessing to see your child through to today's great achievement and to know that more is coming. So to you graduates, I am fully aware that on most days the purpose of being a parent is to say or do something that embarrasses you. I think that is somewhere in the parent's mission statement. And by the way, hello to all the grandparents here. Many of you know the great line, what do grandparents and grandchildren have in common? And the answer is a common enemy. And so on this day, I want you to say thank you back. I want you all to rise up and clap and cheer to say thank you to your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, and all the others who helped you get you here today. Let's give them a hand as well. Thank you all. I raise this also because while I enormously admire people who rose from modest circumstances to do great things with their lives, I have always disliked the term self-made. The presence of so many who love you should remind us that none of us is self-made. It is, to begin with, a biological absurdity, and many would also say that it's a spiritual absurdity. Bill Clinton used to joke about the politician who would declare, "I was born in a log cabin that I built by myself." But the idea of being self-made is absurd in other ways. No one is self-made because there was always someone important, a parent, a teacher, a coach, a professor, a friend, who helped you when it mattered most. There might also have been some luck or some special grace along the way. None of us gets to pick our parents. None of us gets to pick the country or the community we are born in, or the color of our skin, or the circumstances in which we are born. I ask you to remember this all of your life, especially if you are successful in the world's terms. There, but for the grace of God go I believe is one of the most constructive sentiments ever devised. There are many, many people in this world who are not as lucky as we are here today. So let us remember them in love and in solidarity. Again, do justice and love mercy. I know there are many of you who have spent your time living up to those words. I asked the university to share with me some of the stories you told about yourself in those great Chords of Distinction essays, and I was inspired by them. Timothy Jordan Luther spent a lot of time at our community place on East Johnson Street here in Harrisonburg. He did whatever had to be done. Sometimes I wash dishes, he said. Sometimes I sweep the floor. He liked the work because it blurred the lines, as he put it, between the advantaged and disadvantaged. Distinctions, he said, that get in the way of mutual aid, collaboration, and overall empowerment. May we all remember Timothy's lessons on the costs of arbitrary distinction. For Carissa K. Harnish, the co-president of the senior class committee, service is not some slogan or a nice thing on a resume. It's personal. People are why I choose to serve, she said, because it is a great way to show love to others and to receive love. A service can also mean raising our awareness of the plight of those whom we would never otherwise think about. G. Moses Pagar, who, by the way, is on the board of the Bethel AME Church on Kelly Street and sings with the choir. I was tempted to cut the speech off there and ask him to come up to sing. But G helped organize a fundraiser themed Breaking the Chains to raise awareness about modern-day slavery in Haiti. And then there's Rachel Joy King. Rachel is a triplet, and she taught me a concept I had never known about. She refers to seeing life through what she calls the triplet lens, which may make it easier, she said, to step in another person's shoes to see things from their perspective. To her, Thoreau captured what performing service meant. I took a walk in the woods, Thoreau said, and came out taller than the trees. She also has this line for all of us, and I'm going to come back to it. In a world full of inequality and injustice, she said, one person can make a difference, but many can change the world. Through Timothy and Carissa and G and Rachel, I salute all of you and all that you have done. Now, whenever I have the honor of speaking at a graduation, I like to note that this is the worst kind of talk to give, as Emily alluded to. The people in the room who matter are absolutely everyone: parents, graduates, teachers, friends, relatives, everyone except the person giving this speech. Careful academic studies have shown which speeches of this sort are remembered. 4% of commencement speeches are remembered because they were really good. 22% of commencement speeches are remembered because they were really, really bad. 26% of commencement speeches are remembered because they were way too long. The rest of the respondents said they couldn't remember a single word of what was said when they earned their college degree or grad degree. Now, the study I just cited is made up of whole cloth, and if you ever did such a thing, you'd be hauled before some disciplinary committee. But the spirit of those numbers is right, and I'll try to live by them today. I just want to offer you a few habits which, being somewhat older than you, I have learned were useful and might be useful to you, and I want to talk a bit about the ideas that underlie them. The first is to remember always that you can learn something from every single person on this earth. And I do mean everyone, no matter their background or their level of education or where they're from or what they look like. Every single person has knowledge you don't have, experiences you never had, ways of looking at the world that you might never have thought of. Don't look for the gifts people don't have, look for the ones that they do. The corollary is to engage people wherever you are and whatever you are doing. Now, I have two biases on this matter. I met my wife 28 years ago on the DC subway on what happened to be Easter Sunday and Patriots Day. I started talking to this lovely woman on an escalator at the Woodley Park Metro, and it turned out to be unexpectedly the most important conversation I ever had in my life. Just so you know, we have warned our daughters not to bring home some guy they met on the subway, which means that I have to admit that parents don't always preach what they practice, but I'm sure glad I spoke with Mary. The underlying principle of engaging and learning from everyone is that every single person on this earth is endowed with a dignity that we should all respect. Those who are religious would say that this is a God-given dignity, and I believe that. But I think this is the right view of our fellow human beings, whether you are religious or not. One of my favorite stories on this matter is told of Governor Christian Herter of my native state of Massachusetts. He later became Secretary of State under President Eisenhower. At the end of a long day of campaigning, he found himself in line at a barbecue, and when he got to the chicken, the woman behind the counter put one piece of chicken on his plate. And Herter asked the lady if he could have another piece of chicken, and she said no. She said there were a lot of people here, and she wanted to make sure that everyone got some chicken. Now, Herter was a gracious man, but that day he was very hungry and a bit cranky, and so he looked at the woman and said, "Do you know who I am? I am the governor of Massachusetts." And the woman behind the chicken said, "And do you know who I am?" And Herter said no, and she replied, "I am the lady in charge of the chicken." I ask you, always remember the lady in charge of the chicken. Even if, and perhaps especially if, you become president of the United States or a governor or a CEO. Remember the equal dignity of all of us. A second idea to remember: the smartest people on this earth are never, ever the know-it-alls. We all know what know-it-alls sound like. They often talk a lot and say very little. Some say that of TV pundits, by the way. I love Abraham Lincoln's barb about someone who clearly fell into this category. Lincoln said he can compress the most words into the smallest ideas better than anyone I have ever met. Treasure that one. It'll come in handy someday. I hope he wasn't talking about a newspaper columnist. The truly ingenious people I have met are the people who are acutely aware of how much it is they do not know. They are constantly struck by how vast the field of knowledge is. They always know how much there is still to learn. It may be a cliche in commencement speeches, but as Emily again pointed out, it should always be said, commencement refers to a beginning, not an end. Never stop learning, and never stop being delighted by the world and what it has to teach you. Wonder rather than doubt is the root of knowledge, said Abraham Heschel, the modern Jewish prophet. Doubts may be resolved. Radical amazement can never be erased. Heschel counseled us to keep our own amazement, our own eagerness alive. You don't have to put those on the shelf just because you're getting a degree today. But there is one thought above all I want to leave you with. Please do not ever think that cynicism is the same thing as realism. Our society is awash in knowing cynicism. The idea that everyone is always on the take and on the make, the claim that nothing is worth believing in, nothing is worth dedicating a life to. Now, there is nothing worse for someone who writes for a living than to discover that someone else said exactly what you wanted to say before you had a chance to say it. So imagine my horror discovering when I was preparing this talk that Stephen Colbert, curse him, said precisely what I think about cynicism in a commencement address of his own 9 years ago. On the other hand, there are far worse things in this world than getting to quote Stephen Colbert to you. Cynicism masquerades as wisdom, he said, but it is the farthest thing from it. Because cynics don't learn anything. Because cynicism is a self-imposed blindness, a rejection of the world because we are afraid it will hurt or disappoint us. Cynics always say no, Colbert went on, but saying yes begins things. Saying yes is how things grow. Saying yes leads to knowledge. I would love, by the way, to hear the response of Stephen Colbert, the character, to Stephen Colbert, the person. Presumably, he would urge you to say no and no and no again. And this one is purely for Emily. She mentioned that cliche about you being the future. In that same speech, Colbert said that if you are the future, that means all of us old folks are the past, and why should we be standing up here celebrating that fact? Colbert said that's a bit like union members celebrating the robots that are about to take their jobs. But we salute you anyway. There is one thing I want to add to Colbert's account. Cynicism isn't realism because realism accepts people as they actually are. That means acknowledging our flawed nature, yes. It means admitting our extraordinarily comprehensive capacity as human beings to make mistakes, to say foolish things, even to be cruel and unfeeling. Yes, we human beings have been and have done all those things. Reinhold Niebuhr, the great theologian, once said that original sin is the only empirically verifiable doctrine of the Christian church. And he had a point. But realism also requires us to acknowledge the human capacity for transcendence, for kindness, for generosity, for courage, for learning, for creativity, for salvation, and for love. Realism means insisting that our fallen side isn't the only side of us. Realism means seeing the bravery of those who risk their lives to save others on 9/11, the compassion of those who work every day all over our nation with those who need help, including Timothy and Carissa and G and Rachel and so many of you. It means keeping our eyes open to the courage of those who marched in Selma to demand the right to vote and those who march and organize today to keep it from being infringed. It means recognizing the work of scientists who work every day to cure disease, the sheer genius of comedians like Stephen Colbert who make us laugh, and the composers of music that can make us cry. It means seeing all of the love that is in this room today between parents and children and among all our friends. And realism also means that you admit that cynicism is actually a dodge, just as Colbert said. It's a way of evading your responsibility to fight for justice, to witness for peace, to battle for the marginalized, and to stand up for the rights of those who are oppressed. Now, I am a political person, as many of you know, and I have a lot of political views, but I've chosen not to say too much about politics today. But I do want to say this. Cynicism could kill our democracy. It could kill our democracy by encouraging us to give up not only on our obligation to the common good, but on the very idea that there is such a thing as the common good. Of course, politics can be corrupt and mean, but democratic politics, that's with a small d, is the way in which we solve problems together and resolve our differences by reasoning together. When politics goes well, the philosopher Michael Sandel has said, we can know a good in common that we cannot know alone. So I ask every one of you to be political in the way a democracy needs all of us to be political. And it's an obligation I want you to take on joyfully. Happiness is a good thing. And I confess I often want to clap along with Pharrell Williams when he tells us that happiness is the truth. But joy, happiness comes and goes. Joy can stay with you because it's an orientation toward life and toward others. For many, I suspect for many here, it is rooted in faith. But joy is also rooted in a sense of love and in a sense of gratitude. One of my favorite book titles is C.S. Lewis's Surprised by Joy. Joy, Lewis said, is never a possession, always a desire for something longer ago or farther away or still about to be. I want you all to be very successful, but above all, I hope you'll live your life in truth, and I hope you'll live it in a way that is always open to the surprise of joy. And I want to give the last word to Rachel Joy King, because I am always going to remember what she said, and I hope you'll always remember what she said. In a world full of inequality and injustice, one person can make a difference, but many can change the world. Be part of Rachel's many. Go out and change the world. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dion. This time I'd like to invite the faculty and staff of EMU to please stand so the graduates and their families can thank you for making EMU the great place that it is. Faculty members, please stand. For the recognition of the graduate students, Dr. Donald Tyson, Director of the Masters of Science in Nursing program, will represent all of the graduate programs in assisting with the hoodings.
President Schwartzentruber, faculty, Board of Trustee representatives, parents, family, friends, I am honored to present the Master of Arts in Biomedicine, Master of Arts in Conflict Transformation, Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Business Administration, and the Master of Science in Nursing graduating classes of 2015 on this occasion of the 97th Annual Commencement of Eastern Mennonite University. We recognize the following persons: those who have completed requirements for the Master of Arts in Biomedicine, Master of Arts in Conflict Transformation, the Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Science in Nursing degree, April 2015. And those who will complete requirements for the Master of Arts in Biomedicine, Master of Arts in Conflict Transformation, Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Science in Nursing degree, summer or December 2015. Will the master's degree candidates please stand for the conferring of degrees? President Schwartzentruber, on behalf of the Eastern Mennonite University faculty, I present these candidates for their degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Eastern Mennonite University, and upon the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, the Mennonite Education Agency, and the Commonwealth of Virginia, I confer upon each of you as presented the degrees of Master of Arts in Biomedicine, Master of Arts in Conflict Transformation, Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Business Administration, and Master of Science in Nursing, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. We commission you to share the living faith to which God has called you. With this degree, we further urge you to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. You may move your tassels from right to left. And you may be seated.
I am honored to present the students who have completed the requirements for the Graduate Certificate in Conflict Transformation, Graduate Certificate in Peacebuilding Leadership, Graduate Certificate in Restorative Justice, Graduate Certificate in Peacebuilding and Conflict Transformation in Educational Settings, and the Graduate Certificate in Nonprofit Leadership and Social Entrepreneurship. Will Graduate Certificate candidates please stand?
On behalf of Eastern Mennonite University, I wish to recognize you as presented for the intensive study and achievement in completing the requirements of the course prescribed, and therefore award you the Graduate Certificate in Conflict Transformation, Graduate Certificate in Peacebuilding Leadership, Graduate Certificate in Restorative Justice, Graduate Certificate in Peacebuilding and Conflict Transformation in Educational Settings, and the Graduate Certificate in Nonprofit Leadership and Social Entrepreneurship. We commission you to share the living faith to which God has called you. With this certificate, we further urge you to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. You may be seated.
President Schwartzentruber, faculty, Board of Trustees, representatives, parents, family, friends, I am honored to present the graduating class of 2015 on this occasion of the 97th Annual Commencement of Eastern Mennonite University. We recognize the following: all who have completed requirements for the Bachelor of Arts degree December 2014, all who have completed requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree 2014, all who have completed requirements for the Associate in Arts degree April 2015, all who have completed requirements for the Bachelor of Arts degree April 2015, all who have completed requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree April 2015, those who will complete requirements for the Bachelor of Arts degree summer or December 2015, those who will complete requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree summer or December 2015, those who will complete requirements for the Certificate in Pastoral Ministry summer 2015. Will the undergraduate class of 2015 please stand for the conferring of degrees? President Schwartzentruber, on behalf of the Eastern Mennonite University faculty, I present these candidates for their respective degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Eastern Mennonite University and the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, the Mennonite Education Agency, and the Commonwealth of Virginia, I confer upon each of you as presented the degrees of Associate in Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Certificate in Pastoral Ministry, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. We commission you to share the living faith to which God has called you. With this degree, we further urge you to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. You may move your tassels from right to left. And you may be seated. We recognize that many of you have come to honor a particular graduate today, and it's understandable that you may be eager to show a little enthusiasm as they receive their diploma. There are more than 450 graduates to be honored, and we'd like for each of them to receive the recognition that they deserve, and that will be most possible if your enthusiasm is moderate enough so that each graduate's name can be heard when announced. We also realize that some of you will want to take photos of your graduate. Please take them quickly and then step back for others to have their place. And finally, we would invite you to hold additional greetings until after the service, when there will be adequate time to meet each other on the lawn following the recessional, and I'll have a word more about that at the end of our service. And those who are taking photographs will come over to my left, your right. Thank you for being respectful to each other.
Now will the graduates prepare to come forward to receive your diplomas as I read your name. We will begin with the Master of Arts. Please hold your applause until the end. David Pothan Abraham. Walid Rabah Al-Kakan. Asad Ali. Jonathan Paul Blosser. Mavis A. Britwam. Edwin Gareth Clamp. Christopher Russell Drycorn. Katrina Gordula Macareg. Vincent Pasquale Mora. Shabrang Panumetsa. Matthew Charles Thiessen. Janine Jameh Ubari. Shelley Lynn Barker. Matthew Leroy Booker. Najla L. Mangouche. Aaron Smeltzer Erb. Katrina Michelle Gaiman. Fabrice Jude Guerrier. Anthony Mark Harris. Meredith Caitlin Henson. Grace Hersick. Diane Kellogg. Amanda Lane Morningstar. Bridget Teresa Mullins. Andrew Nussbaum. Nathan David Slaybaugh. Laura Wells. James Edward Bowman, Jr. Crystal Lee Brittain. Allison Pauline Colazzo. Stephanie Lynn Fultz. Jonathan David Huffman. Samantha Jean Judy. Andrew John Lane. Kristen Nicole Monroe. Stuart William Nafziger. Caitlin Sim Price. Lisa F. Rhodes Strickler. Jennifer Ludmilla Baker Shank. Madeline Noel Short. Jessica Lee Seibold. Sarah Joan Thomas. David Michael Durham. Breton K. Figgott. Lee Anthony Good. Erin Elizabeth Ruxer Hagedorn. Lakeisha Devon Jones. Amanda Marie Massey. Lee Murray. Amanda Jo Nace. Lauren Elizabeth Orndorff. Christopher Onditi Sati. Marcia E. Sensabaugh. Eliza Steck Williamson. Ziran Yong. Martha Mert W. Neff Brubaker. Daryl Nussbaum Miller. Michelle Lynn Robertson. Amanda Jo Nace. Robin W. Ruhlman. Jerica Lynn Smiley. Jason Christopher Smith. Andrew Nussbaum. Ellie Carleen Barnhart. Cynthia A. Harlow. Beth B. Mehring. Joseph Blee Moffett. Samantha Jo Ritchie. Michelle Lynn Robertson. Dominic Ryan Berthold.
We pause for just a moment. Eastern Mennonite University today awards to Ruth C. Jones posthumous honorary degree. Ruth was enrolled in the adult degree completion program as a registered nurse, completing a BS in nursing degree. Ruth passed away suddenly on June 29, 2014. Ruth was employed at Augusta Health, where she had worked for 15 years. Her instructors and fellow student colleagues remember her as a congenial, outgoing member of the cohort, a team leader with a generous heart, and she is sadly missed. Receiving her diploma on behalf of the family today is Nicholas Jones, her husband.
Some baccalaureate degree students will be graduating with academic honors today. You'll find the designation of honors listed in the back of your commencement booklet. Dominic Ryan Berthold. Donovan Colt Duttweiler. Jasmine Samara Harris. Christopher A. Yoder, cum laude. Valentina D. Acevedo. Glenna B. Blackwell, summa cum laude. Lori Ann Branch, magna cum laude. Penny K. Smith Cook. Miranda Hammer, counsel. Anthony John Daniel Caviello, cum laude. Brian Lee Cubbage. Jessica Stafford Cubbage. Lisa F. Dean. Lacey Dawn Darrow. Sean C. Duckworth. Fabiana Borkowski French. Jennifer Lynn Good. Sarah Nicole Hagan. Matthew B. Harpine. Ronald Leslie Henderson. Eddie William Hilbert Jr. Sean D. Irvine, cum laude. Courtney Michelle Jones, cum laude. Joni Elizabeth Kibler. Kristen Cromer King, magna cum laude. Wilma L. Knight. Debbie S. Nippenberg. Jordan E. LaRue. Okay. Toby Allen Norris. Donna T. Rousey, Zachary S. Shiflett, Stephanie Nicole Saito, Dorcas N. Toos, cum laude, Emily Young Weller, magna cum laude, Bianca Ariana Igarza, Woodrow A. Furbish, Jr., Jordan Elizabeth Ayler, Melinda Joy Bender, summa cum laude, Jessica Renee Biggs, Dylan Allen Baumgardner, Alyssa Sherelle Brown, Everett Neff Brubaker, magna cum laude, Victoria Lauren Clymer, Antonio D. Cruz, Malika Noel Davis, Heather Nicole Dean, Natalia Paige Durstein, Michael S. DeTellis, Lucas Arnold Driediger, magna cum laude, David W. Falk, Ty L. Farrell, summa cum laude, Chantal Brianna Garber, cum laude, Elise Diane Gingrich, summa cum laude, Sarah E. Gingrich, cum laude, Zachary James Grass, Christina Margaret Hardman Zimmerman, Landon Dwayne Heavener, cum laude, Jennifer S. Heichman, cum laude, James Jerry Helmuth, summa cum laude, honors program. Bethany Paige Hench, magna cum laude. Erin Elizabeth Hershey, cum laude. Paul Curtis Hess. Carla Elizabeth Havdi, summa cum laude, honors program. Lenore Esther Kaufman. Evan Kyrie Knappenberger, magna cum laude. Morgan Renee Kratz, magna cum laude. Lene A. Kreider, cum laude. Sun Ju Lee. Christopher P. Lehman. Rebecca Joy Longenecker, summa cum laude, Cords of Distinction, honors program. Timothy Jordan Luther, summa cum laude, Cords of Distinction. Huda Baha Mansour. Suha Baha Mansour. Daniel Lehman Martin, magna cum laude. Rebecca Marie Whitmer Martin, summa cum laude, Cords of Distinction, honors program.
Wow, you got everything. Congratulations.
Benjamin Stolzfus Mast, summa cum laude, honors program. Megan Elizabeth Madison. Bradley Douglas Matthias. Annika Marie Schiller Most, magna cum laude. Kirsten Kreider. Lindsay Rochelle Mead. Bradley B. Mullet, cum laude, honors program. Matthew L. Noggle. Melinda Marie Norris. Matthew Aaron Nice, summa cum laude. Jesse Brayton Parker, cum laude, honors program. Sarah Elizabeth Puckett. Emily M. Raber, summa cum laude, honors program. Courtney Lee Rains. Erin Renee Reinheimer, summa cum laude, cords of distinction. Rachel Marie Richard, summa cum laude. Sarah Lynn Ritchie, cum laude. Andrew Alexander Rosen. Mackenzie L. Souder, summa cum laude. Madeline Stone Saunders. Chanel Neva Tatiana Shands. Randall Heaton Smith III. Seth Stauffer, summa cum laude, honors program. Amanda Rose Stoll. Angela Carol Stolzfus, cum laude. Hannah Beth Stolzfus. Shakira R. Sykes. Amanda Marie Vega. Caroline Marie Wilkie. Ryan D. Yates. Bryce Daniel Yoder, magna cum laude. Michelle Amber Zook, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Alderfer, cum laude. Mariah Rebecca Batkins. Kelsey Leanne Blosser, magna cum laude. Nevin Lee Blosser. Benjamin J. Bontrager, summa cum laude. Charles W. Brown. Meredith Lee Brown. Heather Lee Cotting, summa cum laude. Zachariah Thomas Coverdale. Emma Marie Dalen, cum laude. Garrett Lee Delph. Jonathan Brooks Drescher Lehman, summa cum laude, honors program. Josiah Mark Driver, summa cum laude. Katie Ann Ekman, summa cum laude. Carissa G. Good. Naomi Irene Good. Kimberly S. Groff. Carissa K. Harnish, summa cum laude, Cords of Distinction Honors Program. Janessa Lene Durstein. Ryan Michael Henschel. David Jacob Hooley, magna cum laude. Patrice Louise Siegrist Hostetter. Holly Lynn Jensen, summa cum laude, Honors Program. Isaac J. King. Rachel Joy King, summa cum laude, Cords of Distinction. Kevin Isaac Lehman, magna cum laude. William Parker Leap. Savannah Rose Lester, cum laude. Frida Amber Lofton. Mark Yoder Mast. Casey Len Miller. Caitlin Danielle Morris. Megan Rose Nafziger, magna cum laude. Mercy Nora Osei. Angelina Michelle Pardini, magna cum laude. Matthew F. Rhodes, cum laude. Rebecca Lee Richmond, magna cum laude. Elise McCrae Souder, summa cum laude. Brittany N. Sehenik. Emily Virginia Shank, summa cum laude. Jacob Nathaniel Shank, cum laude. Renita Joy Shank, summa cum laude. Kayla Renee Smeltzer. Jason Thomas Spiker, summa cum laude, Honors Program. Gia Dawn Steiner, cum laude. Lydia Christina Stutzman, summa cum laude, Honors Program. Nicholas Cypress Schultz. Liu Akalu Tekla Michael. Afton Bell Vanderwerker, cum laude. Carrie Jane Weaver, cum laude. Lauren Brooke Wangard, cum laude. Katie Martin White. Camille Copeland Williams. Samantha Nicole Wilson. Carmen Leticia Whitmer, summa cum laude. Andrew Robert Yoder, summa cum laude. Nicole Abigail Yoder, summa cum laude. Philip Jason Yoder. Hui Yuan. Marla Lynn Zumfeldi, cum laude. Stephanie Marie Beiser. Lauren Renee Campbell. Jared Randall Christoffel. Natasha Michelle Dean. Megan Schaefer Ellinghausen, summa cum laude. Mindy Marie Esworthy. Amy Lynn Fieser, cum laude. Daniel J. Friesen, honors program. Zachary Samuel Gish. Diana Vanessa Gutierrez Garcia. Amy Marie Johnson. Caleb M. Hinga. Anne Marie Kelly, cum laude. Emma Grace King, cum laude, cords of distinction. Taylor Lynn Layeski. Leanne Adele Lambert. Jacob L. Landis, summa cum laude, cords of distinction.
Wow, that's impressive.
Christopher M. Lee. Magdalena C. Lehman, summa cum laude, honors program.
Wow, good work. Congratulations.
Joshua David Lomas. Mark William Lovell. Jacob Cyrus Mac Bowl. Austin J. Marzullo. Sylvie Matala. Tyler E. McCulloch. Tyler E. McCulloch.
Congratulations.
Thomas F. Millery, honors program.
Congratulations.
Brianna Victoria Nolt.
Congratulations.
G. Moses Agar, cords of distinction.
Lovely to meet you. Congratulations.
Christian Bernard Parks.
Congratulations.
Isaac Donald Peglow.
Congratulations.
George W. Pitt. Jillian Elizabeth Pooster.
Congratulations.
Chloe Germaine Raber, magna cum laude, honors program.
Well done. Congratulations.
Maria Leticia Ramirez Jimenez.
Congratulations.
Alex O. Ramos.
Congratulations.
Caitlin Mary Randazzo.
Congratulations.
Andrew Paul Romano.
Congratulations, sir.
Joshua Anthony Souter.
Congratulations.
Nathan R. Scarborough. Emily Christine Schenk, magna cum laude, cords of distinction.
Well done.
Mary Catherine Taylor. Caitlin Rose Troyer.
Congratulations.
Derek J. Turner.
Congratulations, sir.
Taylor Nicole Weidlich, magna cum laude.
Well done. That's a lot of work.
James Gregory Williams, Jr. Roberto Wingfield. Alexander Scott Whitmer. Rebecca York, magna cum laude. Pan Sung Ong. Raymond F. Barrett III. Emma Jo Beachy. Amber Jean Botkin. Sarah Rebecca Carpenter. Katie Elizabeth Chittum, cum laude. Cassie R. Cook. Tabitha V. Cothran, cum laude. Nicolette Alexandra Cuevas. Trisha Ray Cummings, summa cum laude. Dorinda Shea Dameron. Ashley D. Dean. Ling Dong, cum laude. Juan Flores Becerra.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice.
Jennifer Ann Good, magna cum laude.
Congratulations.
Ryan Lee Goodman, cum laude.
Congratulations.
Carlos R. Gum. Carol Reagan Hariff. Michael Lee Hawkins. Luke J. Hertwig, cum laude. Amanda Call. Lois A. Nicely, cum laude. Tyler S. Knight. Andrea Scott Constant.
Congratulations.
Tina Marie McCoy.
Congratulations.
Jessica Catherine McNally. Cindy S. Morris. Perion Noilani Neal, cum laude.
Congratulations.
Joanna Clemmer Nichols. Tina M. Pitzer.
Congratulations.
Alexandra M. Poff.
Congratulations.
Rebecca Sue Powell.
Congratulations.
Chloe Germaine Raber, magna cum laude, honors program.
Great work.
Macon Elizabeth Rowley.
Congratulations.
Emily Morrow Ryan, summa cum laude. Amy L. Saffold.
Congratulations.
Ryan Scott Sanders.
Congratulations.
Mariella Yvette Rivera Sandoval.
Congratulations.
Vanessa Sandoval.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Stacy Scott, cum laude.
Congratulations.
Dana McCrae Shomo.
Congratulations.
Chrissy A. Shoemaker.
Congratulations.
Benjamin Luther Stern.
Congratulations.
Kyle Wesley Stork.
Congratulations.
Claire Marie Sullivan. Michael Sean Sumner, magna cum laude. Kimberly N. Teeter. Rebecca Teeter, magna cum laude. Lindsay Dawn Turner. Elizabeth Rochelle Warner, summa cum laude. Lindsay Marie Harris Wallace, cum laude. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2015.
Commencement is a day of celebration and farewell, but it is not a final goodbye. We continue to think of each one of you as part of our community scattered around the globe. At commencement, we send you with joy to carry what you learned here to new places and people. To mark this ending, graduates, please stand as you are able and receive these words of commissioning. Graduates, today we send you, as God's Spirit calls, to serve and lead wherever your paths may take you in this wide world. Go as one of us, extending the mission of our university into a world crying out for peace and justice. Bear witness to faith, serve with compassion, and walk boldly in the way of love and peace. In our community of learning, you have acquired new knowledge, values, and skills. Use them to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. Go, receiving and sharing the good news of love, grace, healing, and hope with all you meet along the way. Our prayers go with you. May God bless each of you with courage, wisdom, and joy for your journey. You may be seated.
Just one announcement. I invite the guests of the graduates, parents, and all of us to remain seated during the recessional. The platform party will lead the recessional, and then faculty will recess the way you came in, and students will recess. And we understand the weather is such that people can gather out on the front lawn near Thomas Plaza. I apologize that we could not be outside this afternoon. I think you would have been very, very chilly. It did not get over about 50 degrees. But we think you can gather out there for photo taking. So if graduates will make your way out to Thomas Plaza in front of the campus center, and your family members can meet you there. Ann Kaufman Weaver, parent of graduating senior Carrie Weaver, and a member of the Executive Committee of the Board of Trustees, will offer the prayer of blessing. And then, as I said, following the recession, you can meet above or around the fountain, above the fountain on Thomas Plaza. Please remain in your seats until all the graduates have recessed. And then following that recessional, everyone is dismissed.
Jesus of Nazareth had a few wise and transformative things to say about being blessed. So I extend these words to you, taken from The Message, a translation of the Bible. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope, With less of you, there is more of God and God's rule. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you. You're blessed with your content with just who you are, no more, no less. That's the moment when you find yourselves proud owners of everything that cannot be bought. You're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God. God's food and drink is the best meal you'll ever have. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you'll find yourselves being cared for. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart put right. Then you can see the God in the outside world. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are, and you find your place in God's large family. You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you deeper into God's kingdom. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors of the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this. Public as a city on a hill. And if I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up to God. On behalf of the parents who birthed you, and the rest of the family and friends and professors who nurtured you along the way, go. Shine your light. Bring out the God colors in the world. Amen.